forces in a fatal four-way match in hopes of eliminating by pinning or incapacitating that dominant force. Sometimes interesting alliances are formed. We saw that at the 33rd WrestleMania during the Raw Women's Championship match.
We sure did, Michael. Nia Jax dominated Charlotte Flair, Bayley, and the Boss Sasha Banks in the early going. While they recovered out on the floor, they realized for that moment they were stronger together. The decorated champions eliminated Jax after a triple powerbomb that saw all three superstars assist in the pinfall. Something that a superstar must remember in a fatal four-way match is that there are no countouts and no disqualifications. I love the sound of that. Just think of all the possibilities. The match can end up in a brawl in the crowd or on the stage or in the locker room, and there's nothing anyone can do about it.
Corey, as you mentioned before, I know how fond you are of contests that have the no count-out, no disqualification stipulations attached to them. For a superstar competing in a fatal four-way, they have to remember that could mean being the victim of a brutal assault, and they never see it coming.
That's exactly right, Michael. Since the fatal four-way is no count-out and no disqualification, an attack can come by way of one of the opponents in a match lurking outside the ring, just waiting for the right time to strike or outside interference. And it's all legal.
History was made on Monday Night Raw the night after 2016 SummerSlam event. There was a special fatal four-way elimination match to crown a new Universal Champion. Victory could only be achieved by pinfall or submission. Either Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Roman Reigns, or Big Cass would leave the new Universal Champion.
There is definitely a big fight feel, a main event feel that night on Raw as Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Roman Reigns, and Big Cass collided in an epic battle. Each superstar tried to be as calculated as possible in their attacks. The WWE Universe looked on in awe when Roman Reigns dove over the top rope out on the floor and dropped Big Cass in KO.
When it looked like Big Cass asserted his dominance, Kevin Owens eliminated the 7-footer with a frog splash. But when Triple H appeared and pedigreed a battered Roman Reigns, it appeared the game was helping Seth Rollins. On that night, Triple H turned on his protege by way of the pedigree and gave Kevin Owens the path to victory and the Universal Championship.
The fatal four-way match works like this. 4 superstars are in the ring all at once. There are no countouts and no disqualifications. You have 4 superstars who are throwing down in the ring all at the same time, and they can fight anywhere they want to. It's mass hysteria.
Corey, you talked about the ground rules of a fatal four-way match. One thing to keep in mind is that depending on the stipulation, there could be eliminations in the match, meaning that once a superstar is pinned, taps out, is counted out, or is disqualified, they are eliminated from the match. But the battle wages on.
And a stipulation can change the entire complexion of a match. As one may think, a fatal four-way can see an interesting breakdown of temporary allies. No countouts and no disqualifications means anything can happen, and it can happen anywhere. Allow me to take you back to December 7th, 2015, and one of the largest matches in WWE history, the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Elimination match. You had the Usos, Dean Ambrose, and Roman Reigns versus the Wyatt family, against the League of Nations against Team ECW. From the moment the bell rang, it was absolute chaos.
Byron, the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Elimination match that you spoke of earlier was certainly an exciting way to help close out 2015. The WWE Universe knew to forget what they thought they knew about tag team matches when both Usos were going to superplex Rusev and Braun Strowman entered the ring and powerbomb both Usos as they superplex Rusev.
Michael, that was an unbelievable display of power by the monster among men, Braun Strowman, and soon after there were bodies flying everywhere. Tommy Dreamer eliminated the Wyatt family, the League of Nations took out Team ECW, and Roman Reigns brought down Sheamus with a spear to give his team the victory. There's a mistake I've noticed that a lot of superstars make in a Fatal 4-Way match. They check with the referee to confirm that the referee counted 2, and that it was not a 3 count. Sometimes they argue with the referee. In a Fatal 4-Way, if you take the time to argue with the referee about the count, somebody's going to attack you, and it's going to be too late.
Corey, I have to agree with you on a point you made earlier. Sometimes superstars get into a war of words with the official about if a pinfall attempt resulted in a 2 or 3 count. In a Fatal 4-Way match, you have 2 other opponents, not including the person you tried to pin. If a superstar is not careful, they could end up on the wrong side of an attack.
Look, I understand the intent, but a Fatal 4-Way match is not the time nor place to enter into a war of words with the official over the 3 count. That's when you're most likely to feel the wrath of one of the other opponents in the match. When I talk about Fatal 4-Way matches, I always think back to the classic battle at Backlash 2007 between Shawn Michaels, John Cena, Randy Orton, and the Rated R superstar Edge. The action was so fast and furious from the get-go and served as a prime example of why a superstar needs eyes in the back of their head in a Fatal 4-Way match.
Byron, earlier you mentioned one of the classic Fatal 4-Way confrontations in sports entertainment history. The match between John Cena, Edge, Shawn Michaels, and Randy Orton for the WWE Championship was a highly anticipated main event. The match saw a temporary reunion of the Rated RKO tag team and even saw Randy Orton and Shawn Michaels join forces to punish John Cena.
This match defined the chaos of a Fatal 4-Way. In the end, Edge thought his spear on Randy Orton was enough to bring him the WWE title until an AA from John Cena changed that. An unexpected, sweet chin music from Shawn Michaels dropped Cena right into Randy Orton. Cena picked up the pinfall victory and retained the WWE Championship.
Lariat! He doesn't want to do this outside the ring. Oh, cover here. And there's a kick out at 1. Oh, wow. He's attacking the back. Calls the pin off with a rope break. Up for the crucifix. Boom!
There are 2 things that are crucial for success in a Fatal 4-Way.
Looking for all the glory here. Uh-oh.
Ooh, nice Russian leg sweep.
This might be it.
Oh, my.
Jolly old whippersnapper. Byron, earlier you talked about the importance of timing and being resourceful in a Fatal 4-Way match. That reminded me of the #1 Contenders match we saw on Raw in April of 2017. Nia Jax, Alexa Bliss, Sasha Banks, and Mickie James collided to see who would face Bayley for her Raw Women's Championship. Let's just say in the end, Miss Bliss took advantage of a situation.
The 5 Feet of Fury has her master's and doctorate in timing and resourcefulness. After Nia Jax sent Mickie James flying off the top rope and flattened Sasha Banks with a Samoan drop, Bliss blasted Nia out of the ring with a drop kick and pinned the Boss to become #1 contender for the Raw Women's Championship. It was brilliant.
Since there are no disqualifications in a Fatal 4-Way match, a superstar has to be aware of the fact that if they're in an elimination Fatal 4-Way match, someone who was eliminated can come back for retribution, and it's all legal. So you can eliminate an opponent, and they can interfere in the match later, and there's nothing anyone can do about it.
Byron, you touched on something earlier that's worth repeating. If you're a superstar competing in a fatal four-way elimination match and the competitor is eliminated, they can look to settle a score and affect the outcome of the match later. That's always a possibility in a fatal four-way match because of the no disqualification stipulation.
Michael, that's what I like to call an occupational hat.
Penny in predicament. Didn't have to dig very deep to kick out of that one.
Have to put in a little more work than that.
Oh boy, he is rolling.
Oh, right to the body. That hurt. Ooh, what impact. Look at this. Looking to steal one there, perhaps.
Too soon.
Toss to the outside.
Oh, cannonball. Boom.
Boots.
Nice.
This superstar is dangerous both inside and outside the ring.
Oh, what a headbutt.
On the mark.
What's going to happen here?
Don't do this.
Oh, gosh.
Sunset flip.
Beautiful technique.
Oh, boy, he is rolling.
Oh, no, what could this be?
Oh, don't do this.
Hung up on the barricade.
Oh, man.
Ouch. Back in from the floor. A maneuver like that is a great way to turn the tables. You gotta believe this one's over. Shoulders down, this could be it. This battle's not over yet.
Gonna take more than that.
Inside the ring now.
Ooh. Oh, boy, he is rolling.
All the way. What impact.
Oh, to tear the features clean off your face.
The tension, the drama. This is electric. I don't think there's any coming back from this type of assault.
I think this one's over.
It'll be interesting to see if any unlikely alliances are formed here in this fatal four-way match. Splash! I got to tell you, these guys are in the best shape I've ever seen them in. And here's a cover. You're not going to win many matches that easily.
Way too early.
Just breaking down the opponent.
Time to flip it.
Going all the way up. Slam, look at this. This capacity crowd starting to sense the end is near, and I don't disagree.
And things look bleak right now.
What a match. Looking vulnerable now, guys.
This is a bad situation.
Oh, what a clothesline.
Forcefully delivered. Harsh impact. Since there are no disqualifications in a Fatal 4-Way match, a superstar has to be aware of the fact that if they're in an elimination Fatal 4-Way match, someone who was eliminated can come back for retribution, and it's all legal. So you can eliminate an opponent.
There's a pin now, and an early kick out.
Wow. Going for it all here.
Side Russian leg sweep.
Oh, perfect form. That has got to be it. What a sweep.
We got it covered. Byron, you touched on something earlier that's worth repeating. If you're a superstar competing in a Fatal 4-Way elimination match and a competitor is eliminated, they can look to settle a score and affect the outcome of the match later. That's always a possibility in a Fatal 4-Way match because of the no disqualification stipulation.
Michael, that's what I like to call an occupational hazard. We saw an example of that in 2016 during the Fatal 4-Way elimination match to determine the #1 contender for the WWE Championship. The Miz was eliminated from the match, but let's say he had a major influence on the outcome of the contest. Just ask Dean Ambrose.
Nope, reverses it. Looking helpless right now.
This could be the beginning of the end.
The intensity of this match has been incredible.
Such vicious strikes. I don't know how these superstars are doing it right now. They've got to be exhausted.
Oh, nasty impact.
This is what makes him one of the best in the business.
These four superstars look like they've been put through absolute torture right now.
Nailed it. Incredible impact. Boom, what impact. Here we go.
Oh boy, he is
Not good for the back and body.
That might have done it, Cole.